Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we created a database with various tables. These tables contain data organized into columns and rows. In this video, we will explore one of these tables using the select statement. We'll open MySQL Workbench and start writing our first query. I have opened MySQL Workbench. After opening it, I already have a tab named Query 1. In this tab, I can start writing code. If you don't have a tab yet, go to the left icon and click on it. A new tab will be created for you to work in. I'll remove this tab for now to avoid confusion, but this way it's possible to create multiple tabs and write multiple queries. This can be useful if you want to view data from different tables. We open the Coffee Lover database. By clicking on Tables, we can see how many and which tables this database contains. We choose the Items table, and now we can see how many columns are present in this table. This was our first exploration of the database. There are two ways to view the data from the Items table. The most convenient way is to first select the Coffee Lover database by double-clicking on its name. If you see that the database name is bold, it means that it is selected. In our Query tab, we type select. That indicates that we want to retrieve all columns from the database. Then we type from, which specifies from which table we want to view the data. We choose Items. We execute the query. We now see the results of our query on our screen, displaying 10 rows and 6 columns from the table. Currently, we only see 10 rows. This is a choice I often make when viewing a table for the first time. In MySQL, there are several options you can choose from, including one where no limit is set, so you can always see the entire table. What we see now is that the table consists of 24 rows. Next, we will try to retrieve only one column from the table. We do this by typing the name of the column after the select statement. As expected, the outcome shows only one column instead of 6. Next, we will try to add multiple columns. We do this by placing a comma on the next line, and then typing the name of the desired column. We will extend our query by adding 2 extra columns, making a total of 3 columns. Of course, you can continue this way until you have all columns displayed again. For the next option in the select statement, we will remove the 2 extra columns. For the example, we need 1 column where there are multiple rows with the same name. This data is available in the Items column. What we see in the column is that the same item names appear multiple times. It can be useful to know how many different items are in the column. By this, I mean the number of unique items. We can achieve this by using the distinct command after the select statement. As a result, we can see that each item now appears only once in the table. Earlier in this video, I mentioned that there are 2 ways to select data from the database. Currently, I have not selected the database, as indicated by the database name not being bold. If I execute the query now, I will not get any results, and an error message will appear in MySQL. To retrieve the correct data from the database, we add the database name in the where clause. After executing the query, we see the results again. It is also possible to manually specify the number of rows to be displayed as a result of the query. I have reselected the database and executed the query. The result shows the entire table. Now, I want to see only 5 rows from the table. This can be done by adding the command limit and the number 5 after the table name in the from clause. After executing the query, we now see 5 results. Another useful tip is to keep the query readable. MySQL has a built-in function called Beautify, reformat the SQL query. You can invoke this function by clicking on the broom-shaped icon. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it enjoyable and informative. I would appreciate it if you like the video. Subscribe to my channel, and maybe leave a comment. I hope to see you again in the next video.